Hello everybody, Defudge 3004 here. I am back in Space Engineers, and I want to get up there. I want to go into space. I want to make a ship and go into space. That's my favorite place to be on this game. You can find a lot of resources easier, and it's just a lot more fun to me, I guess. So, I would try to build a driller here on the planet, but the problem with doing that is as the driller gets weighted down, the gravity brings you down and you crash into the planet or just cannot get out of the hole that you're in. So if I were to, like, let's say right here I'm drilling with my driller and I go down into here, you know, I have a ship and everything, and I'm drilling down into here and I get too weighted, I have to manually take everything out and bring it back up here and drop stuff off and put it in the processor, the refinery and all that stuff, and it's just a pain in the wazoo. So I am going to see about building a ship to get up there, and I can build a driller and a fighter and all that kinds of stuff up there when I don't have to worry about the gravity from here. And I think that's the best idea to do. Plus, that's where this game started. I mean, the name of the game is Space Engineers after all. So, excuse me, in the early days of this game, when I started it a couple of years ago, there was basically space. There were no planets. There were no moons. There was nothing like that. There was a space station you could start on if you wanted to. I mean, you had to start off with something so you had something to work with. But there was, like, you know, no things like this where you started in a ship and stuff. You could start in ships. You could start on an easy start planet. Easy start base that was out in space on an asteroid and stuff. And so, you know, one of the other advantages to going up into space is I can go to that planet there and go to that moon over there. I can go to that planet there, and there's probably a moon there. And wherever the moon is here, wherever that is, probably on the other side of the planet, I can go to that moon, to this moon too. That's for this planet. So I can actually do a lot more on here. Now, for those of you who are wondering, this game is a lot like Empyrean in that the building is pretty much the same. I prefer this game if I'm going to do spaceship building, just because I actually enjoy this game a lot more than Empyrean. I love Empyrean. Empyrean is a good game. It's just a different type of game. It's not the game that I am going to, you know, go out and play a lot of just to make a ship when I can come into here and I can make a ship in here just as easy. So what I'm going to do is, as soon as I can get the materials, I think I'm going to go ahead and start making a ship. I should have enough materials, so let me go into my ship and just see what kind of materials I do have. So, and I can also grind down this ship if I choose to or need to get parts to do other things for my other ship. So let's go ahead and go into here. And I have quite a bit of iron. I don't know if that's going to be enough because I'm probably going to have to make a large ship. And the reason why I say that is because the refinery and the assembler cannot be put onto a small ship. If you guys have watched my other videos, you would have remembered that from my other tutorials and videos, that these things are not available on the small ships, nor is I don't believe the oxygen tank is. It could be, I don't remember. Let me go take a quick look here. And if I go to oxygen and the oxygen, okay, the oxygen tank is for the small ship, but the production blocks, the refinery is only for the large ship. And now I can make an arc furnace. It's also for the large ship. The oxygen generator for both, obviously, because I made it on my little transporter out there, my little rover. And the assembler is only for the large ship. So that's one of the problems that I have with trying to make a small ship and going out to space. So I am going to be working on making a large ship, and this may take a while. I might get it done in this episode, I might not. I'm not going to torture you guys watching me build a small ship. I am probably going to cut away and I will build the small ship, the large ship, excuse me, and I will try to get at least it built, and then we will see about going out there in space where I really want to be. Now I may have to use parts of this one because I'm gonna have to put a couple of these on so I can actually get up in the atmosphere. Once I get up so far, I'm gonna have to use hydrogen thrusters to be able to go up into space and break away from the gravity, which is about 40,000 meters away from the planet of the surface. The surface of the planet, sorry. And so, I knew I said that wrong. I actually have to go a really long ways, and I have to go pretty fast to be able to break away from it, just like you do in real life. So I am going to start building it. I'm just going to go ahead and leave the rover here because I guess I could move the rover off, and then I can start building on here. And I'm going to try and make it as small as I can, but I'm still going to have to put a refinery and a assembler on it at minimum, just to be able to process the stuff that I need. And I'm gonna have to put in at least an oxygen generator with a cockpit, as I have on my little rover out there. I would prefer not to do something like this because then I have to have all kinds of room and air vents and yada yada yada, and that's just kind of more material than I don't really want to have to do right now. So I am going to move that rover off, and I'm going to start putting a landing gear on there. Excuse me. And we will start building the ship. Let me get the rover off, and I'll kind of show you guys what I'm going to be doing. So it's going to be a large ship, like I said, because I'm going to have to if I'm actually going to get this thing done. So remember, I could use a gyroscope, but I don't have a gyroscope on here to turn, so I have to use my my D and A keys to turn, not DNA, just D and A. And then I can use my Alt key to turn around with my mouse and see exactly where I'm going and what I'm doing. So I'm probably ought to pull forward a little bit, straighten this guy back up, go forward a little bit more. Okay, there we go. Let's go back this baby up and back him up. We'll get him a little ways away, and then we'll jump out of here. And I will probably save this base in case I want to come back down, so I actually have a base down here, and I do believe that's what I have. So I may not, but if I don't, I will. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and go to K, and I'm gonna go to GPS, and then I am going to go to new from current position, DFJ1, and I'm gonna go to base, and I'm gonna go and type that in. That way I know where this base is, and then I can just hit escape and exit out of there, and it will save it. And now I have right there, it says base. So no matter how far away I am, I will see it. The problem with if you're doing things with the beacons, they will only go for 50,000 meters. So asteroids are gonna be quite a ways out there, and the ones that I may need may be several hundred kilometers away, just depending on how quick I can get to ones. So let me go see what I'm going to need to actually be able to make a landing gear. So I am going to actually need steel plates, motors, large steel tubes, and construction components, and I'm going to need a whopping lot of it. That was one of my thoughts with actually maybe like tearing this guy down, is I would have a lot of materials. But let's just go see what I can make first, and then we will go from there. So in here I should have, I have quite a few plates, so let's go and transfer like maybe about 300 onto me. And hopefully, okay, that's going to take up most of the room, and I have some large steel tubes. I have quite a bit of stuff on me, so I can at least begin making something. So I'm just going to go ahead and put one landing gear on here just to start, and you can see the red line up just beneath the welder right there. You can see the red line where it says welder just at the bottom of the screen. That's how full my inventory is. So I'm going to press the period or the comma keys, and I'm going to go over and I'm going to see if I can press G, and then I am going to go to all blocks, and I will get a landing gear on here. Now all I got to do is find it, and the best, there we go, there's one. Okay, and then press G again. Now it's on my inventory. Now the landing gear is going to go upside down, and I know that because I have done this way too many times. So it's going to go upside down. So if I want to make it go right, what I'm going to have to do is use the home and delete, insert, page up and page down keys. So let me see if I can actually get this darn thing to cooperate. He really doesn't act like he wants to cooperate too well. So let me see what I can figure out. I will be right back here in just a second. Hold on for just a sec. Okay guys, so apparently they changed a few things in some of the updates that they've been putting out, because it used to be that you could rotate it when it was upside down, like when I was trying to make it, but I had to lift it up and then pretty much drop it down on here, but it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. So I'm just going to go ahead and make this block complete, so that way it is stuck down here on there, and then I won't have to worry about it. Okay, it is now attached, so now I won't have to worry about it going anywhere. Now this is where the hard part comes in, because what I'm going to have to do now is actually figure out a way to get up there to start putting blocks on. So I'm going to go ahead and get some more hydrogen, so that way I can kind of fly up there and get that stuff started, and then we will start building the ship. And like I said, I'll probably not do it while you guys are watching, because I don't want you guys to be bored out of your skull while I'm trying to do this. And I will be right back here in just a second. Okay, I'm getting ready to place the last few blocks on basically the grid that's going to be the basis of my ship. And so I flew up there, put that first one right on top of this landing gear, and excuse me, then I went ahead and just started putting them all the way around. Now it doesn't have to be overly huge, because I'm just going to be going up there and probably tearing it down whenever I can get something built up there on an asteroid that I want to go to. But first thing I need to do is see just how big the refinery is. So I'm going to have to go up on there and just see how big it is. So I'm going to press X for my space pack, my jetpack. I'm going to go up here, press X again to land so I'm not wasting it. And I don't think I actually have it on my inventory, and so I do not. So I'm going to go to my next toolbar using the period button, and I'm going to go to G, and then I'm going to type in or look for the production blocks, and let's find the refinery and put that on there. And then let's go and see. Now, it always puts the refinery upright for whatever reason. I don't know why it does, but it always does, and it drives me freaking crazy. So I need to then use my rotate buttons and see if I can get this thing on here. Now, this can actually be right up against the edge, and that's actually fine. And I need to see just exactly where this thing is going to go, and excuse me, and then I am going to see if I can maybe get this on here. And let me scroll out some. Okay, good. As long as I have at least a square or two on either side, that way I can place things. And do it again. Sometimes this game drives me up a wall. Okay, I'm going to put the assembler on that side, so I'm going to go and click the refinery right down there. And then I'm going to go back to my G, and I'm going to put the assembler on here. And it will automatically go in the next open slot on your toolbar down here, so you don't have to worry about always clicking on a slot to make it go to that slot, because it will automatically do it. And once you're done, you can just press G. If you go into G but you don't click on anything, the next time you press G, it'll start typing in up at the top there. So try not to do that, or just click on something and then click on the button you want. And this one always seems to go in right for whatever reason. And so I know that the port is right there, because the port for this one should be over here, and actually the port is on this side. So the ports are right there on this side, and it should be back over here on that side. Not that that matters, it really doesn't matter. and so I am going to have to see about turning this guy and then flipping him around like that, and then I'll just take him up there and place him right there. Now the problem with the refinery is it takes an awful lot of steel plates. It takes 1,100 steel plates. That's well, 1,200 actually. Let me see what I can build. I can build quite a bit of that, and the assembler doesn't take anywhere near as much, so I'm going to be short in steel plates. I'm going to be way short in steel plates there. So I am going to go get some more steel plates. I'll probably build this first, and I'll be making a gazillion plates because I'm going to have to weld up all of this. I'm going to have to go down beneath and try to figure out a way to get up here to weld all of these. So as soon as I go get those, I will come back, start welding this up. Probably could put the cockpit probably up here, and I'm about to put the oxygen generator and then figure out, because I'm going to have the hydrogen and all that stuff. This is going to be a big build, so I'm going to continue working on this. And as soon as I get a bit closer to what I am going for, I will be back with you guys then. See you guys in just a little bit. Okay, so if you guys remember from one of my previous videos, the one where I was making the cockpit for the rover, is I said that the large ship cockpit had to go on top, had to go someplace where I had a port for the oxygen generator, especially if you're going to be going into space where there is no oxygen. And so what I had to do was this is the large one, and as you can see, as soon as I get it turned towards me, come on, turn towards me, thank you, that is the port right there that the oxygen is going to go through. There is not a port on the back like there is on the small ship ones that have those two little holes on it that I can, or the two little ports that I could hook up a oxygen generator to. So I had to make sure to put the oxygen generator in the actual kind of the chassis, you might say, of the ship, so I could set this on. I could have put it up on top of it, but I wanted to make it as compact as possible to save space and also maybe get a couple of materials back. So I went ahead and made that. I made this, and you're probably asking, why do I need a refinery and a assembler on my ship? I could just bring everything back down here. That's the point. I don't want to come back down here. I like the planet. It's fun. It's cool. It's exciting. Yada, yada, yada. But I don't want to come back down to the planet. I want to go into space. I want to explore. I want to go to the planets. I want to see what's out there, and I want you guys to see what's out there too. So if I have these things on here, I can actually take this down or even build more stuff once I get the ores on this ship, and I'll be putting some cargo containers, down here inside this chassis or by these where these frames are, and I'll be able to put a lot of stuff in here, and I can also hook them up via tubes and stuff like that to go into, the refinery, and then I can take stuff out of the assembler. I always try to leave room on either side so that way I can walk around it and I can actually get to the ports that I need to get to. I'm not too worried about going on this back side. This side really, I can still go in and build one more out if I want to, so I can walk all the way around it, and it might not be a bad idea. That way I have room to work with. And in fact, that just might be a really good idea for me to go ahead and do right now. So while I still have a little bit of my hydrogen left, I am just going to go ahead and do this. Now, to weld these pieces that are down underneath here, what I'm going to have to do is actually come down and fly up here a little bit when I refill my hydrogen and weld these guys up. Now I should have enough stuff in my inventory to weld up a few. I can't do too many, but I'm making more so I can get this stuff built, and then I can put on the thrusters. And what I'm going to do is the atmospheric thrusters, I'm just going to put on two large ones on the side so I can just go straight up. I'm not worried about going forward or backwards or side to side or even down. I just want to go straight up for now. I can build more once I get more stuff. So the hydrogens, what I'm going to do is probably have another couple of these oxygen generators on here, like probably there in the middle on either side of this, and have tubes going out so I can hook up all of my hydrogens to it, because otherwise the hydrogen is made in the oxygen generator. So when you go into your oxygen generator, I can make a hydrogen tank on there too, but it'll make a little bit of hydrogen every time that I am in there. So I'm also just gonna probably grind down like this guy right here to get some materials back. It isn't much, but it is actually a bit if you really look at what all there is there. It's not a lot, but you know what, every little bit helps. And I may also take off this timer block because I really don't need these things on here. I'm not gonna use them, and I don't know any programming to do for the programmable block. So let's just go ahead and get rid of this guy right now, and I'm just gonna take him out. Now I could put a block in there, but I don't really think there's any need to. And then I'm going to take out this timer block. Okay, so now I have a little bit more material to work with, and I really don't need this on the planet. So this is going to help out, give me some more materials back. So this is what I mean by like grinding up the ship, taking off little pieces and parts here and there to make the ship, the new ship that I'm making from this ship. If I decide to go somewhere with this one, I want to leave the gyroscope and possibly these thrusters on there and stuff like that. So I will see what happens. I fell down the hole. I don't want to know what happened there. So I'm going to go ahead and continue building on this, and then I will catch up with you guys once I get quite a bit closer to this. So I just want to let you guys know what my plans are, and I will see you guys in just a little bit. Okay everybody, so I just got done basically making the body of my ship and everything that's going to be on it. I still have to put some ingots in the reactor. I may put on another reactor too. I'm just going to have to see what happens. I have not put on the atmospheric thrusters yet. I still need to do that. But I just wanted to touch base with a couple of things that you guys are going to need to know. And one of those is, remember to have thrusters in every direction that you want to be traveling. If you don't have them in the side to side when you are, maybe falling or something and your ship is tilted a little bit, you won't be able to stop yourself, or in the down position or the up position or the back or forth. So right now I have them in all positions except for the backward position. Now there's a reason why I do not have in the backward position quite yet, is because I did not put a oxygen generator back here, so that way I could have a thruster just pushing that way. I figured I really didn't need to be doing that because I'm not going to really worry about that for right this minute. I'm going to worry about going backwards, yes, but as far as having a oxygen generator and all that stuff back there, I'm not going to worry about it. Now these are the hydrogen thrusters that I'm going to be using to go out in space, since the atmospheric will not be working because there's no atmosphere obviously. So I'm going to take these, and these are going to use up a lot of ice, and I do mean a lot. These guys are stupid hogs with ice. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get a lot of ice, and I am also going to have to go to my G menu, and then I'm going to put on a curved conveyor tube. I could also just put on like not a sorter, but a conveyor junction to be able to do it. But for right now, I'm just going to go and use a tube, so I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to go back to G. Like I said, you can do that after you click on something, and then I'm going to turn this guy so he is facing backwards like that. Now it wouldn't matter if whatever I use, because it's going to be the same size, so it just doesn't matter. So if I use a conveyor, it's just going to be the same size, so I might as well just go and use one of those. Now I got that built, well, framed up at any rate. So now what I'm going to do is go back to here, and I'm going to go to my hydrogen thrusters. I'm going to put a hydrogen thruster right there. This is going to allow me to go forward, so I don't have to worry about it. Now I do have thruster damage off. If I did not, I would not want to put that right in front of my landing gear, or to the side of my landing gear facing on it or whatever. But because I do not have thruster damage on, it is not going to affect my landing gear. So that's going to be a good thing. If it did, yeah, I wouldn't be doing that. So hopefully this will work. It should work. I don't know why it won't work. It's going to weigh a lot because, well, they're all large blocks. And like I said in my previous video, these take 25 just to weld up one. And you see it takes one just to build the frame, and then there's 24 others just to build it. And so I'm really not wanting to spend all that stuff on here if I'm not even going to be here on the planet. I don't mind leaving these here, and I don't mind leaving that here just in case I do come back down. I always have a base to come to, and I'm going to leave that ship there too, so that way if I do want to fly around or whatever, I can. So I'm going to build this, and I will probably be ending the episode after I get this built, because it has actually been a lot longer than I anticipated it to be building this ship, just because it is so large. And I actually I forgot, not playing this game as much as I used to, because I've been playing a lot of other games, how much it takes just to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and put everything on and all that stuff, because you can't carry everything in your inventory. So let's see how much of that I can do. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like once that is built. So that's what the hydrogen thruster looks like, and that will be pushing me forward. And I have one going backward. I have two going up and two going down, because for really I can tip the ship. Once I get it like a gyroscope on there, I can tip the ship to go faster one way or the other. So I don't really need to have a lot of thrusters in each direction. So then I'll come up here to my curved conveyor tube, and I need some more construction components, so I'm going to go get those real quick. And I still need to put on a gyroscope. Let's see how much that is going to take with a gyroscope. So I'm going to need a lot more steel plates. I've used a lot of steel plates already. I need 600 more. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some, or maybe not. Alright, I'm going to go make some construction components, and I'm going to go fix that and make some more steel plates and make a gyroscope. And I'm also going to have to actually do something like this, where I actually put on a beacon so I can find my ship when I'm out there, because out in space, up is not necessarily up like it is on the planet. My up could be that way or that way or that way or diagonally. Whichever way that you think you're facing, you're probably not facing the right way unless you know where your ship is. And you'll end up going to it upside down most of the time anyway, because you just cannot have any orientation. If any of you have ever played the game where you're flying in your ship and you're trying to defeat the enemies and stuff, it's a way old game, and you're basically going to one room up right side up, and you come upside down. I will think of the game here in a minute. I just had it on the tip of my tongue and then it disappeared. Descent. So when you play Descent, you go in, you don't know which way you're facing until you can orient yourself with something. On Descent 2, they made that a lot easier, but the first one, oh, it was so confusing. So at any rate, this is going to take a lot of parts. Mainly the radio communications part are so large I cannot carry all of them, because they're just extremely large and extremely heavy. So I'm also going to have to, I could probably use a couple of smaller ones of these guys, I guess, if I really wanted to. I don't know how much that's going to be. I'm already up here, so yeah, I'm going to need a lot more construction, steel plates. Oh man, I'm going to need a lot more stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and continue making this, and as soon as I get that to where I can actually get ready to go, I will be back with you guys then. And the next episode, I'm planning on going up there. So we will see you guys here in just a second, and talk to you then. Okay, everybody, I'm back. So, I kind of goofed with a little bit of my design. I should have put a small cargo container right here on top of this landing gear, and then I could have taken pipes out to my oxygen generators and stuff. But if I grind this down right here, the whole ship is just going to fall down and get destroyed, and I will have to start all over again. So I can grind it down this far, but to put the things in there, I can't grind it down all the way, or it's just going to destroy a bunch of stuff. So what I'm going to have to do is basically go through here like this, and let me get rid of that. go through here like this, and then I can put stuff on my oxygen generators, the ice. Now I also went ahead and made sure that the control panel for the gyroscope is facing me, so I can adjust it and stuff as I need to, because I'm definitely going to be in need adjusting it. Now I am also that's the gyroscope, so yeah, that's fine because that's turning and stuff like that. I was thinking that was a gravity generator, but if I get one of those, I will see about doing a tutorial on that for you guys. And so just remember that these tubes, in order to hook things up to have them go from point A to point B, you need the tubes. Or you got to hook up like cargo containers and put the things in cargo containers, etc., etc. So I am going to go ahead and get a bunch of ice. Now I can do that right here just as easy if I want to. I can just walk around like this and crouch, of course, and just get like, you know, tons and tons and tons and tons of ice this way if I really want to. This is a good way to do it. I mean, I can pick up plenty of ice and I don't have to worry about taking it out of my ship and or possibly, you know, running out of ice on my ship. Not that I think I am going to, but I can. So now that I have a huge track of ice, I can just... Now, I'm already full because I have picked up, I have all kinds of stuff on me. I have 4.45 thousand kilograms of ice on me. So, let's just go ahead and get over there and start putting it into the oxygen generators. And then I can go and pick up a whole bunch more. What I'm going to do is probably put stuff in the assembler up there. So, I'm not carrying around a whole lot of stuff. So I'm going to get rid of that. And I already put 2,800 or something like that in this one. Yeah, 2,800 in there. So I'm just going to go and split this in half. And so if I just go... so 1,000 is shift plus control. So I'll do 2,000 there. And then I'll go and do like... about that much, and then in this one, because I need it for all directions, I'm just going to put that in there, and then I'll go to my assembler, and I'll just go and start dropping stuff into here. So I have plenty of stuff just in case I were to run into trouble up there or something. You never know. Okay, now let's go pick up some more ice, and we will see about getting ready to not take off, because that's not going to happen in this episode, guys. I'm going to have to do it in the next episode when I actually have time, because going up into space, I don't want to just stop. I want to get to an asteroid or something and show you guys everything that's up there in space. I know there's really not a lot up in space besides space, but I can give you guys something to, you know, think about if you guys wanted to purchase this game and stuff like that. And I also still have to put on the the atmospheric thrusters, which will give me a little bit more materials for up there should I run into trouble or smack into something that I shouldn't have. So a refresher, go down, which are the which are these. You want to go side to side, which are these, and you want to go down, which are the ones up top, and you want to go forward and backwards. And so it doesn't matter if you have 12 or 1 in each direction. That will be just fine as long as you have enough, because in space you don't have to worry about gravity. Down here this may not work so well, but because I will be up there, I won't have to worry about it. Now I went in and put the beacon over here. I couldn't exactly put it in like the very center unless I put it in like that, which I may still do yet. I'll see. So one thing too with this game is anytime you grind something down, you get all the parts back, so you don't have to worry about losing stuff. If, like a lot of other games, if you know 7 Days to Die and stuff, if you destroy something, you don't always get the chance to get all that stuff back. And in this game, you will get back everything that you grind in anything, unless it happens to be like destroyed metal or something like that. So let's just go ahead and do 1, 2, 3 clicks into there, and I'm gonna try to fill these guys all the way up. So actually what I could do is actually just go and yeah, it takes 40,000 liters, and that's only like, oh, I don't know, 1/10 of the way full. just over. So yeah, it's going to take a lot of ice, and I don't have to have it completely full, because once we break away from the atmosphere or get way up there, it's going to be a lot easier on the thrusters, and I won't have near the pole, and then I'll be able to be okay. So just go and pick up a whole bunch of this, and I will probably be drilling a whole lot more, but I still have to put on those atmospheric thrusters. So yeah, I still have quite a ways to go. I'm getting there. I'm really close, but I ain't quite ready to go up into space yet. One other thing that I wanted to show you guys is something that is kind of important for you guys to know, just so, I mean, if you guys make a mistake, let's say that you're in here and you make a whole bunch of metal grids. Now what you can do is, in your assembler, which is where this is, you can go to production and you can go to disassembling. And what you can do is you can either disassemble all, or you can just disassemble things that you click on. So if I just want to get rid of all those, it just disassembled them, and then it put them up here so I can reuse them. And something that I wanted to show you guys too is, when I started this tonight with this game, I had 10,000 kilograms of iron. I only have just over almost 1,500 kilograms right now. That's how much it took to build everything right here on this ship. So you figure there's 10,000 kilograms of iron at minimum, plus all of the other parts. So when you think about that, it's a wonder why these ships can even actually fly, when you're talking about the kind of weight that is there. But they do, because the thrust is a lot. And that thrust is gonna do a whole lot to get you a long ways, out there and stuff. So, let's go ahead and try to fill this guy up, and I probably will have to put on those next, thrusters in just a little bit before I really end the episode, and then I will see. I might try to do the little ones. I can always try. I'll save the game before I go trying to take off, and we will see what happens. I gotta re-put those, re-weld those and all that. You want to make sure that these things are welded. You can also use heavy plates, but that's a lot more material, and I really don't feel like wasting the material right now. So once I get into making like a fighter or something, then yeah, I will be using a lot of heavy plates, and it's gonna require a lot of heavy plates. So I'm going to continue filling these guys up. I'm going to see about putting on those thrusters that are like on there, and I will talk to you guys then. One of the problems with trying to put on large atmospheric thrusters is the motor count is a little ridiculously high. 1,100 motors for one large atmospheric thruster. That's ridiculous. So right now I'm on an interior pillar. I'm standing on this, which in real life I probably would not be doing so much. So but I just wanted to show you guys that, so you guys can see these things are super expensive. I'm actually thinking about taking these off so I can put them on that, so I can actually get out of here. And I can always rebuild these, because I'm gonna have plenty of resources down here on the planet should I need to and want to, because I know there's iron in some of these spots and stuff like that. So I just wanted to explain that for a quick second, and I'll put these guys on and I'll see you guys then. Okay guys, I am wrapping up the building of this ship, and I just have the last 10 steel plates that I still needed to put on this guy, and it is done. I decided to go and try the small atmospheric thrusters and just see. They still take an awful lot of materials, but with 4 of them they should be able to lift this guy up and out of here, or so I hope. And with the 2 hydrogen thrusters, once I get up high enough and I'm going fast enough, it should be okay. And I am gonna get the ice later, and pretty much this thing is ready to go. So if you guys are gonna build a ship, the one thing that I recommend is that you guys make sure you build this so you know it is attached, your landing gear, so you know it's attached, and then you can build off from there, because I had a heck of a time trying to get that thing to go right for me. But I finally got it. I kind of had to just lift it up in the air, and then I got it to work okay. So what I mean by that is I took it up in the air and I pretty much kind of dropped it on here, because when I tried to put it on here, it always went upside down and I could not get it to turn the right way. So I had to lift it up and then use my my buttons and stuff, and then I could drop it right down onto there, and then it worked. So that's the only thing that I could figure out to do. So that's what I meant by that. So this is my ship. This is where I'm going to be going up into space with, and once I get up there, I can build a better, faster, smarter ship. I can paint it. I can make it more than just a brick, because I'm just going to be going up there to try to find asteroids, and I'm going to probably put on an ore detector to make it a lot easier to be able to find what is in each asteroid. Because like down here on these areas that are black, if you remember correctly, there's ore in there, and up there the asteroids, I can use my ore detector to be able to find where the ore is. So I got to figure out where I'm going to put that. What I was thinking about doing is maybe just going to put this guy over here, like maybe put one guy right here and then put the other guy right over here and build the piece in the middle, and then it will kind of be more of a what I like in a symmetrical ship, and we will see about doing that, but that will probably be for the next time, because then we will probably be taking off and I'll go and fill up the ice and stuff like that in the meantime. So until then, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. This is Defudge 3004. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for your support, for your encouragement and everything else, and I hope that you guys have a great day. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Have fun, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.